Awesome. Hey, welcome back. It's Amanda Corbin with The Insightful Parent and Rebecca Argentine, Strategic Life Coach. Today we're covering Chapter 4, and we've already, if you haven't seen them, go back and watch the videos of Chapters 1, 2, and 3. And the neat thing, all of the first 3 chapters was titled, I believe, Foundations was kind of the 3 of them.
Yes.
Yeah. And, you know, one of the things Rebecca and I have been talking about is how intimidating the idea of getting well might be, and it's really not. You've said it's an easy read.
Yes, her book's a very easy read, and I do recommend it for anybody.
Yeah,
It'd be a great gift too.
It was really intentional because sometimes the word insight is scary. Sometimes the idea. The subtitle is Helping Parents Heal So Kids Don't Have to Hurt. So even the idea, I love it, but it's also, it intimidates people.
It does.
You know, and so, but the idea, healing doesn't have to, the way I wrote this book, I would describe it as scratching the surface to expose areas of need, but this is not a replacement for therapy, and this is not a replacement even for that focused accountability that you get from a life coach.
Right.
The neat thing when, you know, even in my own journey, what I loved about any book that I picked up, whether it's on stress or self-care or anxiety or depression, like, if it's in a book, it means people have been there too.
Right.
And that feels good because we're always scared.
It's validation that we're not the only ones.
No.
We're not crazy.
Yeah, yeah.
You know?
No one will understand
Nobody
me.
will understand me. Wait a
Believe
minute.
me, I understand you.
Exactly. Exactly. We've all had our ups and downs and our things that we've been through.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so I would imagine, like, empathy is a big part probably of life coaching too.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Empathy and being non-judgmental.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't judge anybody that walks in because, again, I've said it before, I don't know your life story. I don't know why you might have done or made the choices or did what you did, and that's okay.
Yep.
And, you know, we're here to, and I love my son Jacob's behind the camera helping us, and
We love you, Jacob!
He brought up a great point. He goes, use the word healthier.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we're all here to get healthier.
Yep.
You know, we're already kind of healthy.
Yep.
Let's not look at us as being sick.
Yep.
We don't want to label people or anything like that, but, you know, hiring a life coach, reading your book, it's getting healthier. It's getting more, better.
Because
we're good, but let's get better.
Yeah, it's
you know?
what are you doing right and what can you do better?
Exactly. I love that. What are you doing right and what can you do better? Let's not focus on, okay, we might have done this in the past. We'll learn not to do it.
Because how many times can you wash that elephant? It's still an elephant.
It's still an elephant, right.
Yeah.
Right. So,
cool.
All right. So,
awesome.
Chapter 4.
Yeah.
Relationships. Now, of course, your relationships like you kind of did as
focus really on family.
On family.
Yeah.
It really is your family. And again, you brought up the whole boats.
Yeah.
We have our own boat, and we have all the different relationships. You know, as a life coach, we're going to look at all of them.
Mm-hmm.
You know, your relationship with yourself, that was the huge one.
Yeah.
Okay. Your relationship with everybody else that you know have that you come in contact with.
Yeah.
It could be the relationship that you have with the guy who just cut you off.
Yep.
Okay. In traffic, and to me, a lot of it is having that respect, that perspective of maybe, you know, what's going on in their life, of maybe why that person kind of did it. And again, you had used before about taking responsibility for your own reactions or your own ways of how you do things, and then when somebody kind of does that same thing to you, or something that's bad to you, you know, how to maybe deal with that or handle that better. You know, one of the biggest things that I know when we're talking about relationships is boundaries.
Huge.
And you brought that up. You know, a lot of us have to learn to set boundaries.
Yes.
You know, again, even as a parent, you know, as an employee, as anybody.
Yeah.
You know, and are they healthy relationships? You know, and I love you put in here, relationships will constantly evolve and change. You wrote they grow or fade depending on the choices made by the individuals in the relationships. Mm-hmm. And, you know, that's with everything, even as being as a parent. Mm-hmm. You know, I know the older that, you know, that my children get. I have a daughter who's 20 and my son's 13, and how, you know, just me being a parent, that's changed based on their age.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, my daughter and I are more, I mean, I'm still her mom, and she still knows that, but, you know, she's also 20, so that relationship has changed. Yeah. And So I like that book because you bring up the boundaries and the roles that everybody plays.
Yeah. Thanks.
So, you're welcome.
Yeah. It was neat. So the idea, and it was neat. So today, forgetting that we were talking about chapter 4, I was thinking about relationships and the idea that healthy relationships take two active individuals.
You do take two.
And healthy relationships
you're
are
bringing that up.
mutually
Glad you're bringing
beneficial.
That up. Exactly.
How many people, right?
Yes.
And I'm trying to control, like, I can't speak for you right now.
Right.
You're speaking from your perspective, your angle, and you're in a whole different chair.
Exactly.
You know?
That's right, my home boat. I like my boat, my chair.
So,
yes.
but how many people own stuff that isn't theirs?
Yes. we hold on to a lot of other people's crap.
Yeah, and so it's like I assume 100% responsibility for the relationship, and that's not true for parenting. But parents think they need to assume responsibility. Spouses think they need to assume 100% responsibility.
Yes.
I can't control you.
No.
I'm responsible for me, and I'm wholly responsible for, I'm accountable to everything I invest, positive or negative.
Right.
In our friendships, in our marriages, in our kids.
Right.
Yeah. That flagged something. You were going to say something.
I don't remember what it was though, but it did flag something. But I'll probably think about it and talk about it in the next chapter.
But it is neat too, because the idea with relationships, and interrupt me if you remember. But the thing about it is we can't accept others until we accept ourselves.
Yeah.
Right?
Very
and so
much.
many people hide.
Well, usually they say if you don't like something about somebody, it's usually because you're seeing it in your
Yeah, pick up a mirror.
Exactly. Right.
But it's easier. You said projecting a few videos ago.
Projecting and even perspective.
Yeah.
Your perspective of, well, what's that person going through?
Mm-hmm.
You know, and understanding that they're dealing with their own stuff in their own life.
Yeah.
So, I try to help people sit back and go, okay, all right, well, why do you think they did it that way or they reacted that way? That way you can realize that, you might have said something and even though it wasn't it wasn't a bad thing, they took it that way.
Yes.
And then you guys can go, well, where are they coming from in their life? And don't personalize it, but understand somebody else, you might have used something that got them upset.
Mm-hmm.
And then try to communicate.
Yeah.
And see what that happened.
Yeah, and a lot of
Why that
times
caused it.
in relationships we misplace our identity.
Very
And my
much.
identity should not be bound up in any relationship.
Exactly.
Right?
Well, how many times, I remember growing up when you'd have a girlfriend who would get a boyfriend and you would never see her.
Yeah. And then what's the matter with me? And then we're so dramatic.
Yes.
It's not even about me. It's her with the new relationship.
Exactly, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I don't like drama, so.
No. And the idea, so I've been married 15 plus years now, and but even the expectations, and I think in relationships we talk a lot about expectations. But the expectations we put on our kids without realizing our spouse, I had these magical unmet expectations that showed up after I said I do.
Well, yeah.
And then
We all do. Yes.
And with our kids too.
Very much with our
and
children.
Parents, I apologize because your children should never be your best friends.
No.
Right?
No, you're not there to be a friend.
And not even as adults. Your kids can be your friends.
Right.
But don't put that burden. Your children are not your best friends.
No.
Dear friend, let my daughter just be my daughter, and she's an amazing daughter.
Exactly.
But the shift of that, it just becomes an enmeshment, Yeah.
Yeah. No, I like that. And that's when I said how they can change. But, you were brought up, because you also brought up, are the expectations created by good or bad experiences?
Yes.
So all of our relationships, when we go into any relationship, whether it's a new job, a new relationship with a boyfriend or girlfriend, or, like you said, having that baby, we've already set expectations.
Oh, yeah, this kid's going to complete me and bring me happiness.
Yeah, right. Good luck with that one. Sorry. But, you've already have this preconceived idea.
Based on past experiences.
Based on your past experiences. And again, the things that we will look at as a life coach and even as a therapist are, well, where are you getting those from? Mm-hmm. Are they based on good past experiences, good beliefs, good things of even how you are with yourself?
And do they belong in this
Yeah.
experience?
Exactly. Yeah.
Cool. All right. Well, that's a bit about chapter 4.
Right.
And thank you again for joining us, and
Thank
we'll
you.
catch you again soon.